Duke University professor Jerry Hough said over the weekend that he was suspended after he was caught writing in the New York Times comment section online that there was a link between Baltimore riots and strange names that black people have instead of traditional white names. According to WTVD, he responded to a New York Times editorial called "How Racism Doomed Baltimore" by saying that the author is basically wrong, and he said, "The blacks get symbolic recognition in an utterly incompetent mayor who handled this so badly from beginning to end that a resignation would be demanded if she were white. The blacks get awful editorials like this that tell them to feel sorry for themselves." He also noted that the Asians faced discrimination throughout history, but they didn't feel sorry for themselves. They worked doubly hard. And then going on to say, "I am a professor at Duke University. Every Asian student has a very simple old American first name that symbolizes the desire for integration. Virtually every black has a strange new name that symbolizes their lack of desire for integration." Also going on to say that blacks make the problem worse by refusing to date white people. So it's just fascinating because some racists say that they don't want the races mixing. And then now it's a criticism of black people that they supposedly refuse to date whites. In a statement, Duke Vice President for Public Affairs, Michael Schoenfeld, said that Huff's comments were noxious, offensive, and had no place in civil discourse. The name thing is funny to me because if the black community wants to use what they consider to be African American names, right, names that have become common in modern day America for this community, isn't the white community using European American names, right? I mean, unless your name is Black Bear or Sacagawea, aren't you also, as a white American, using European American names and refusing to take whatever the native names are? It's just such a weird criticism.
Yeah, I think people lose sight of what native means here. And, I don't see it as an issue of integration. I think that's kind of silly. I mean, is he suggesting that that they're trying to separate? I mean, how is there a de-integration? What's going on?
Well, it's basically laziness and lack of taking the right names and dating white people is responsible for whatever trials and tribulations come to be for the African American community. More or less, I think that's the point he's trying to make.
So if they just name them if you name your kid John, and John is black and John dates a white woman
and isn't lazy and is as industrious as Asians,
then everything is going to be okay for John.
Exactly.
Right? Oh, I see. All right. Well, I don't imagine that this that this professor will be at Duke much longer.
Lee Goodman says we should repeal the Second Amendment. Next.